Hello. Give me a sign if you can hear me. Let's check it out. Give me a sign if you can hear me. Let's check it out. What reason of these loudly sounds? I'll try to lower my sound settings, which helping to increase capabilities of microphone. Hello. But there is nothing. Oh, it's been a while. It's been a while when I get in my translation. But today I want to discuss my disappointment, and I reveal that I can't find any work in government structures and services like schools, and I said in my previous video I trying to be a teacher in one of school where I was refused, but not directly, but they only didn't call me back, and I so disappointed about the situation, because I understand that without proper education in somewhere where I could receive those education which necessary for work as teacher in government structures and services, I supposed to be good educated, well educated, and be more than a man who learn all things by himself, and avoid my suspicions about my opinion that it's quite enough to be man who educate himself without helping and kicking out of his teacher in high schools of my city. And I assured that there is not many people who really can speak and may do it without delays, and have really upper intermediate level as it fashion today. I don't understand what it means, because there is quite extended imagination about this assertion. You could be acquainted with enormous part of grammar, but you in this time wouldn't able to speak, and maybe at all. Whatever I do, I much closer to my new consideration of this situation, that I should to enter in university and graduate to have proper education to work whatever whenever I want to work. And there is not any other ways to do it, because it's quite useless to educate myself without have this piece of paper which could give me pass in any of work what we have in our city, whatever is it, school or maybe other education system. And I supposed to be more convenient with me if I will have this piece of paper which we Russian called diplom. Mir, I forget how it's pronounced in English completely. And I am obliged to confess that there is much more than only wish to have education a paper which can provide me work whatever I want, whether it's work in government schools or private schools. Whenever I go, I will be asked about what education I have, and if I will try to explain them that I'm spending on my education every day at least 2 hours, and I have get through more than 5 books, and they, I suppose, never understood what I mean, because most part of people regard education as think that you should be forced. I mean, if you learning in school or a university, you can't educate yourself without be oppressed by a teacher and without condemnation of having, for example, bad estimation of your work or improper diploma work at the end. And I suppose to understand these things from start, and I have at length defined that surely I should go to the university and enter there, because without proper paper of education I couldn't do anything. I have been refused in gymnasium where I want to enter as a teacher, but alas, I want to refuse. I have been refused because I didn't have any education in our universities or other proper things like this. And at length, as soon as I can, I will enter in university about language, and I should to know at least 3 languages fluently, whether it's Deutsch or Arabic. I suppose I will able to do it because I really love to know new things about languages and compare them to each other, because if we compare these languages, we will determine that there are too many same things, and English not too much different from for example Russians, because when our poets will be transferred, their masterpieces will be their masterpieces transferred into England or French, they compelled to translate into their language, and when they stumble with such situation, how to describe in their own language, how to say on my eye, what it means for English man, phrase on my eye. I'm assured that this phrase and many other of them erected from cultural exchange. For example, when work of Tolstoy had been transferred to England, they forced to interpret this work into their language, and of course they couldn't to change phrase or sentences completely, and compelled to do it properly without losing meaning of this sentence, because if they will translate too different from original, they will receive only other book, not written by Tolstoy, for example. And same things regarding books that came from England too, and other countries, of course. Yesterday I heard assertion that one of prelate of Islam, Sheikh Abdullah Kostevsky, was asked about why European countries without Islam have reached such high level of technologies and cultural level, and he responded to us that reason of we are Muslims, should to read, and first order of Allah was of course read, and when inhabitants of Arabic countries and other Muslim countries refused to do it, they quite often going to stumble with problems that their cultural and technical level begin to low, and after all fundamental sciences Europeans obtained from Arabic countries, whether it's mathematics or geography, all these things they are received from Arabic countries, and it's quite a reasonable assertion. Of course, some of those who hate our brothers of Muslim and trying to explain that it's not true, and actually they start to their technological breakthrough from their own knowledge. It's quite wrong assertion, because all of scholars, for example, from USA or England, never argue about this, and they obliged to confess that there is no problem that fundamental sciences obtained from Arabic or from Indians, whatever they are. By all ways, we should understand that whatever you have, or high level of technologies, or convenient life, it's no use if your moral level too low to be a good and well man, without oppressing those who near you and your neighbors. If you deceive someone and it's counting in your country as normal thing and normal behavior, of course you will stumble with problems of this, because it's emerge in real monster society. I feel repugnant when I speak about those things what occurred in my country, when businessmen trying to deceive their clients, when women even don't know from who they have their children, when this fucking piece of paper what you that you received from your university much more important than your real knowledge. It's amazing how world came to these things. I suppose our world all the time is staying at the same point and never going further than it, and only bride of humanity war while Muslims or beginning of Christianity, whatever it is. I mean, when people really believe in God and pray to Him, and it was their main goal of life, and all the ways, by all the ways we should to consider ourselves as slaves or God, and whatever you imagine in your head, you only mere small slave of God. But there is no shamefulness or something like this. You should be proud about it. Much more worse to be slave of someone who rule you in this world. Same creation like you, and who oppressed you, and you admit him as your real master or even God, and and there we will stumble with real shameful. But to be a slave of impressive and greatest of this world, I mean God, Allah, and whether you like to call him his greatness extent, and whatever you do, you under totally control of him, and all your all things what you did or doing, writing down in the books what angels do from left and right hands of yours, and there is no escape from it. Neither complaining nor refusing of this never help you. It's quite wrong to think that you something special. Can you imagine your life without your eyes or ears or whatever it is, maybe your hands? We're only fragile creation which that created to pray only God and to do life of ours, and those who near us better help them, and they supposed to help us. And I wish I had to be much more better a man, and not to be so lazy, but it's due with my health, and I can't do more than I do in real. I really love languages, whatever it is. I only trying to avoid Asian languages because they seem to me quite repugnant, erect in my soul, repugnant. And I remind you that if you want to speak with me in my streams, I really will be glad to see you here, because I really think that it would be better if I had more friends who really come to speak with me. And whatever your level, please do it. Left your message under video, and I will invite you immediately, and we will speak in any time, whatever you're convenient for you. I am having busy only 5 hours a day at my school where I work as teacher, and sleep at night, and rest of my time completely free for my hobby, I mean English or playing games. And I wish I had more friends to speak with me. It's quite convenient when we both ask each other any kinds of questions and answering to each other, trying to improve in order to improve our language and speaking capabilities. I presume once I will find those who will be willing to speak with me, I don't think that at present, I don't think that I speak in English worse than I do it in Russian at present, because if you would saw my streams in Russian, you couldn't be find more interesting things what I trying to say or narrate you about any kind of things. And my real life goal to improve my English and to be like real Englishman and have same accent like them, but I abundantly refuted idea of speak like Edward Gibbon, because it's high level to Englishmen themselves, not for me, of course. And I supposed to be speak freely in with same words, what like I do as I do it right now. But when I will wield this properly, I will be able to improve. Will be able to do further improvements. I really get pleasure from listening English actors who dubbed my lovely serials or animes, and when I playing in dubbed game in English, I get pleasure from any word that I heard. I am still thinking about enter of university, but I don't decide what exactly is it to be. I don't know what I'm supposed to say yet. Maybe I should playing something, but it's quite boring. I have installed many of games what I like, whatever is Deus Ex or Shadowwire. Let it be. I'm starting Deus Ex. What are you saying about my new webcam? It's quite good enough, isn't it? The more I speak, the better I become. What it means, upper intermediate? Do you have level upper intermediate? No. What is it? Can you get away from me with such questions? It's quite insulting when I was asked about this question. What it means upper intermediate? Whether you can speak this level. What it means? No, I can. I may not speak this level, but I able to translate from Russian into English whatever I decided to translate. It's quite easy to me. I not supposed to be good speaker. I'm only trying to be good English scholar. For what? What reason of it? Why you decide that it's useful for you? What it means to know grammar without speaking level? Why you decide that it's important for you? Maybe you had better to learn physics or mathematics, whatever it is. Where is sound? What's happened? I should edit my game here. Where is my game? Do you see anything, my friend? Oh, I see my game. It's quite cool. This is my lovely games called Deus Ex, and I like it from my youth. Those times I playing first part of this game, and now I able to walk through whatever I want. It's really interesting for me. Yes, I have it. But what about sound? Where is it? What's happening with my sound? I should define what source of problem. Where is it? What's happening with my sound? I should define main hero of this game working as chief of security in a corporation where producing augments for people, and this company have been attacked suddenly, and he trying to save people as many as he can who work at this corporation. But I don't understand where is sound of this game. It's quite clear. Give me a couple minutes, please. I hear game in my phone, but I didn't hear it from my computer. Maybe ears will help me. Not. Nothing helped me. It's quite interesting. What reason of all of it? I I suggest that this program suppressing my sound. But why? Why it do it? It's amazing. Why you do it? Why it do it? It's amazing. Why you do it? Why it do it? It's amazing. Why you do it? Why it do it? It's amazing. Why you do it? Why do it? It's amazing. Why you do it? Why do it? It's amazing. Why you do it? 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 Why
Why are you